Welcome back, everybody. 7:15 a.m. October 20th, 2017. Alright, well, I made a video yesterday about the 5-year anniversary of Hurricane Sandy, which formed down in this area where my mouse is, where you can see a low pressure system forming right now as we speak, guys. Today is October 20th, like we just said, but I want you to watch something very interesting. First, let's look at what Sandy's path actually was. You can see where Sandy formed right around here. It was noticed as a tropical wave on October 19th and then formed into a tropical storm on the 22nd, which was right around this area, and then it went over Jamaica, it went over Cuba, passed by the Bahamas, and rode up the East Coast. All these little turns and bends you see are due to outside pressures. That is the Bermuda Atlantic and the jet stream. If you guys remember, there was a giant wall of pressure moving from west to east along the U.S. that was projected to push Sandy out. And you can even see Sandy was beginning to be influenced by the jet stream. It made this right turn towards the east into the ocean, and that was it. We thought this was going to be the end of Sandy, just like Jose, guys. If you remember, big wall of pressure here. Jose was stuck up here for days and days and days. We expected it to be pushed out to sea quickly. It hung out, eventually was pushed out. Sandy broke all the rules. Sandy moved out to the east into the Atlantic, and then out of nowhere, with a pressure wall in its way, made a left hook into Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now, I want you to look at something forming on Tropical Tidbits right now. Check out the date, October 20th. Sandy was first noticed as a tropical storm on the 22nd, first recognized on the 19th. Now just check this out. Canadian model right here. Low pressure forming in the exact same spot where Hurricane Sandy formed, same time of year, 5 years later. The storm forms right there. It looks to be a little bit to the west of Jamaica, goes right over Cuba, and almost touches the southern tip of Florida, but on the east coast it looks, and then wants to hug a left turn into Florida. Now, this obviously is subject to change, guys. We want to keep an eye on this, but this is certainly action going on in the Caribbean. You can see right here all these storms blowing up, and we talked about this big pressure wall that is the reason that we have that invest that went up towards the UK and Ireland. Now, once that passes, what did we say? We said that the Caribbean would blow back up with action in a counterclockwise movement. Now, to verify that, I want you to watch Ventu Sky here. Here's Saturday. Watch how the wind currents begin to change as this pressure wall that we just watched leaves the entire area of the Caribbean and the Gulf. Counterclockwise, the 23rd, counterclockwise. Now, this is exactly when Tropical Tidbits matches that as a formation right about here. Here's the 24th. You can see the low pressure already building, low pressure spin building. Here's the 24th. Here is the 25th. Keep in mind this is the GEM, not the GFS. Counterclockwise spin. 26th, we're moving up past, almost parallel with Cuba and Cancun. Now we're actually parallel with Cancun and Cuba here, with Florida involved, and by the 28th, it shows it up almost to the east coast of Florida. Ventu Sky, here is Tropical Tidbits. The storm forms, 984 pressure, 986 pressure, and then makes a left hook into Florida. Could we be seeing a duplicate of Sandy? Now, again, this is a ways out. Now, will this thing pass over Jamaica and Cuba and ride up the East Coast again? Now, keep in mind, again, guys, it's all about the pressure going on in the Atlantic Ocean and the jet stream going on over the U.S. That will determine the path of this storm if it forms. But I just find it very interesting, the dates and the timing. This is October 30th by the time it looks to be a landfall type deal on the east side of Florida and southeast Georgia. Certainly something to keep an eye on, guys. Seriously, look at the high pressure here. Anything around this high pressure follows the edge of it, just like Sandy did. Here's Sandy here. Sandy made a little bit of a left turn by the Bahamas. That was due to a high pressure that was forming here. Then that high pressure released. Sandy made a right to the east, went back into the ocean. High pressure formed, pushing it back into the coast. So, with that said, you can also see that type of question mark movement right here with this storm. Low pressure starting same exact spot as Hurricane Sandy formed, and around the same exact time in October 5 years ago. There it is. It forms, moves to the right, moves to the left, and then a sharp left turn into Florida. Now, will this be magnified up the East Coast? We don't know. This is what I wanted to point out to you guys. All right, we'll talk later this afternoon. Have a great morning. Questions and comments, please leave below. Twitter and Instagram throughout the day, I will be monitoring. So that's it for now. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.